Hey folks, it's me Chris, and I wanted to take a few seconds of your time to talk about this awesome new opportunity that we've been presented with for all of our lovely listeners. We can now offer you all a 1-month free trial from audible.com, allowing you full access to a vast library of audiobooks to choose from. As I mentioned earlier, the trial is completely free, and all you have to do is visit audibletrial.com/GHS and follow the instructions to sign up for a free membership today. We hope you guys enjoy Audible just as much as we do, and thanks for your time. Alright, cool. We'll go ahead and jump into our Act 2 now, our nerd news. Cool stuff as always. We have a comic book news this week, so we haven't done one of those in ages. That'll be pretty cool. But we'll go ahead and start off with gaming news. Adnan, do you want to take this first one, or do you want to take the second one?
I'll use it the first one.
First one? Okay. So for this new first piece, pretty cool stuff. It's actually a two-parter. We're kind of combining two news pieces into one, but so some interesting stuff is happening with Konami. Well, interesting, I use the term loosely, but whatever. Some stuff is happening with Konami. They have recently came out and confirmed that yes, the Kojima Productions Los Angeles studio is going to be closed. They're closing it down. And they had a statement that they released that says Konami has made the decision to close its Los Angeles studio effective immediately due to the product development resources being restructured into a more centralized unit. This facility contributed to the recent Metal Gear Solid games. Konami will continue its operation to support all Metal Gear Solid titles, including the recently launched Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain and Metal Gear Online. Metal Gear Online is still scheduled to release for PC Steam in January 2016. So, yeah, that is it's done. What a shame, right? Didn't that open fairly recently, you know? Yeah. And it was a really big step. They're gonna, Konami was placing their Kojima Productions placing themselves into LA allegedly to I guess that's how they got Norman Reedus for Silent Hills. I don't know. So,
he's just stumbling around down the road. He's walking in Daryl Dixon clothing. It's like,
get in here.
Get in here. We need someone for motion. Yeah. We need someone to be motion captured.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think that's kind of like a weird, they were so heading in this one direction that seemed really fucking cool and really forward thinking, and now, Konami is going backwards. They took 3 steps backwards and no steps forward.
It's one of the biggest U-turns in a long time I've seen. They really have, because obviously there must have been a long-term plan set forward for the gaming industry with Konami involved in it.
Right.
Because the Fox engine, Silent Hills, opening a new branch at Kojima Productions LA, probably continuing Metal Gear Solid with Kojima's involvement and overseeing it probably in Japan. At the same time, they use Los Angeles as the new hub for building Silent Hills. Maybe. That's like a wild claim to make, but that's what I think would have happened.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's so bizarre looking back on it now and just seeing this all unfold and everything just being taken apart. And it is, I'm not surprised they shut down the studio. But it was kind of I think they were kind of thinking of staying in, when they said they restructured things and did this and that. But I think with the Kojima debacle and everything else that happened after it, they were just you know what, it's time to pull the plug, leave.
Yeah.
Somewhat gracefully. And
which just so bizarre, right? So weird. Just oh man. Well, the other side of the coin on this story is Konami is already planning for their next quote-unquote large-scale Metal Gear Solid. So, reportedly, Konami is gearing up for the next entry in the MGS series, and they came out and said that the project is not going to be a small project; it's going to be a pretty big one, with a quote saying, "When we start development, a large-scale investment will become necessary." So they're definitely, even after the big budget that having a Fox engine and having all that with MGS5 and remember how like we're kind of like still waiting to see if they're gonna make money off of that. Apparently, they're not gonna like do a small chunk with whatever the hell is gonna be the next Metal Gear Solid game. And yeah, the according to the report, also Kojima's involvement remains unconfirmed. Since the
He's on vacation, Chris.
yeah,
Leave him be.
yeah, exactly. Since Konami claims he's simply on vacation. What a dick thing to say.
I hope he stays on vacation until like when he turns up for the next E3 or something. Like, well, that was like, whew, what a long holiday that was. And, like Yoji Shinkawa was just carrying his bags behind him.
He comes in with like a fucking Hawaiian shirt. He's like, I loved it.
That's where all their resources have gone from Konami. They've plunged it into Hideo Kojima's holiday. That's the next game, a Hideo Kojima game. Me and Shinkawa on island.
So yeah, whatever the hell the next game is going to be, I guess it's not going to be made in Kojima Productions LA. That's for damn sure. But yeah, so that's kind of like the other side of the coin. So apparently the next game is going to be a big budget, and Kojima's involvement is unconfirmed. I could tell you right now, Kojima will not be involved in it. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99.9% sure Kojima is not going to have any involvement in it. Maybe he'll get the credit based on characters created by Hideo Kojima, but probably not, because Konami owns the MGS series. I'm surprised they're going to go for a big budget. I was honestly thinking they were going to try to reuse assets from the Phantom Pain and possibly, like, I was telling you before the podcast, like, maybe make like an epilogue to Metal Gear Solid 5, how there's like a prologue with Ground Zeroes, maybe do an epilogue and get that, that cut mission from the game, the one with Liquid Snake or Eli, whatever he's called, and Sahelanthropus, and doing like something with that. So yeah, that's actually quite surprising. I think that they're gonna go with a large scale investment. So who knows what the fuck? I mean, I hope it uses the Fox engine, because again, who knows? I mean, they might even just we're gonna make the lily pad engine. I don't know, some shit like that. Just do whatever the fuck they want. Keep making all these decisions they're making. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Are you surprised it's gonna be large scale? Were you kind of like suspecting that, or?
Large scale, quote unquote.
Yeah, right.
Especially when they've just torn down Kojima Productions LA.
Yeah, that is
which
true.
kind of says that there wouldn't be a multiplayer for this game at all.
Oh yeah, no.
I just think they'll pull the plug on the game again. I don't think they actually have anything planned for Metal Gear. The IP isn't the IP.
Sorry.
Well, because the thing is that if they're plunging the large scale production they want to put into it, it's going to be the same kind of budget Kojima was using.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's not as profitable as you probably think.
Yeah.
And they're going to drop a lot of sales as well, because some people aren't going to really be familiar with the MGS series after that, or like want to buy it because Kojima's not involved. Mm-hmm. MGS is done and dusted. It is. 5 was the missing link for that story. Like, I don't care where it goes after this. I'm not interested. If Kojima's involvement is not there, then I don't care. Like, the series was built by him. It's his bread and butter. It's his child. It's everything to Kojima.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they plow so much resources into it, and then kind of be like, yeah, we're still in the gaming scene, but we're making this, and it's like, why? What's the point?
Yeah,
the plan they had pre Kojima fighting and everything else situation, that was the future that it looked like. Mm-hmm. It looked like there was much more to it. This is like a kind of a hollow shell of that future. So I don't understand what they're trying to do with it. No idea.
Yeah, I agree with you on a lot of that. Like, obviously this is a weird thing they're doing. I don't know how much of a plan they have. I doubt it's a big one. But they are doing something, because remember, the day they fucking, like, sacked Kojima, I thought it was very distasteful. They also said, oh, hey, by the way, we're also looking for the next, development team for the next Metal Gear. Like, that same day. So they are looking for people to hire. I don't know if they've actually hired people or what the hell they're doing. I think it's going to be a while until we hear anything. But I think they're trying to do something. I don't know what they have up their sleeves, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is one of those things where, like, time will tell on how this... I'm actually more curious about what Kojima's next project is more than anything else. But, yeah, I don't know. But, all right, dude, I guess go ahead and take us to our last gaming piece.
Ooh. I will. I will. Right. So over to the Xbox Wire, where Halo 5 Guardians smashes a record with biggest Halo launch in history.
Whoa!
So 1 week after launching worldwide, Halo 5 Guardians has made history as the biggest Halo launch and fastest selling Xbox One exclusive game to date, with more than 400 million in global sales of Halo 5 Guardians games and hardware, pushing the franchise to over 5 billion lifetime.
Damn.
With the highest week one attach rate for a Microsoft first party title on Xbox One, the game was the most played of any game on Xbox One, as well as the most played on Xbox Live.
Damn.
Fans have logged
Jeez.
more than fans have logged more than 21 hours of total gameplay, including 12 million hours into the campaign mode alone. The widely praised multiplayer modes have also led to 9 million total hours played, with nearly 7 million multiplayer matches across Arena and the all-new Warzone mode. In addition, Halo fans are taking the requisition system in a big way, with over 45 million REQ packs acquired, totaling more than 568 million rec cards. Last week, Halo 5 Live earned a Guinness World Record title for the most watched video game launch broadcast, setting a precedent with more than 330,000 unique streams on the evening broadcast. Additionally, content from the broadcast generated 5.5 million total views throughout the week. Blah, 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 blah. And here's a quote from Phil Spencer, says, "The success of Halo 5 Guardians is a testament to the innovative work from the entire team at 343 Industries and to bring this installment to Xbox One and the incredible community of fans who have come to love the story, characters, gameplay central to the franchise. The game represents all the possibilities of Xbox One and has earned its place as the anchor title in the greatest games lineup in Xbox history."
Well, fuck
Ooh.
balls. That is a lot of records. I'm actually, I'm a little bit surprised and not surprised because obviously, Halo's a huge franchise. Still a very young franchise. It's only been, what is it? Like, it came out in 2001, so it's like a little over 10 years old. And it's making all these records. Jeez. I think for me personally, the most interesting is that this is the most played of any game on Xbox One so far. That's
Yeah,
huge. Jeez.
that's very interesting.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of games already out on these consoles, and think of all the and they didn't say exclusive; they said straight up the game most played.
Yeah.
That's
See,
nuts. So
there's something very interesting about the story that's kind of like misleading as well. It says that it ships 400 million in global sales of Halo 5 games and hardware. They don't give you specific
right.
how many games the ship. Well, sorry, how many of the game of Halo 5 Guardians is being sold separately.
Yeah, because
So
that's
there
like
are numbers.
yeah, that's the console and like the bundles and shit. Yeah, so that's a
Yeah,
big number because fucking you're spending hundreds of dollars on the console.
yeah. I mean, it's good news in terms of the fact that it's going to ship units and it's shipped units in the sense of just sales in the game and obviously hardware.
Hmm.
But I want to see more accurate kind of results because it is the big game for them. It's the one that has to sell and solidify kind of a reason to buy Xbox One.
Yeah,
Um,
this is their. I mean, arguably, no. Actually, I would straight up say they're the only of the big three: Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony. They're the only ones that are really releasing during like the general October, November, December timeframe a big AAA title. Like Sony released Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. That's a collection. That's an HD collection. That's not a big AAA game. And Nintendo has nothing. They released Mario back in August, and nothing in the holiday season.
yep.
So they're kind of like dominating it. They definitely have the full deck. I mean, this is what is it they're saying that they keep saying like this is the biggest Xbox launch ever. Like they're just like we did it, baby. So yeah, that's great. That's great for them. I really have like this love affair right now with my Xbox One. I think it's a great console, and there's still a few other games I play. Well, just one, Tomb Raider. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. Okay, kudos, Microsoft. Till we tipping intensifies. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for our gaming news, guys. Good stuff as always. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our movie news, and we also have a comic news for our entertainment section. Adnan, did you want to take the first piece, the movie news, or the comic news? I'm cool with either or. Yeah. Choose
I'll take
one.
the first one.
First one? All right, go for it.
Right. So this is courtesy of Chris, but I actually thought it was quite funny. So those planning to see Star Wars: The Force Awakens dressed
I
as their favorite
plan on
character,
seeing it. Oh man, I gotta tune in. Continue, Adnan. Sorry.
dressed as their favorite character, may need to rethink their costume, as several theatre chains are limiting what will be allowed during screening. So both Cinemark and AMC won't allow you to wear masks, sport face paint, or bring fake weapons. And according to the Wrap, this is what the company announced on its website. AMC does not permit weapons on or items that would make other guests feel uncomfortable or detract from the movie-going experience. And they continue: guests are welcome to come dressed in costume, but we do not permit masks. In short, bring your lightsaber, turn it off during the movie, and leave the blaster and Darth Vader mask at home.
No.
Unlike AMC, however, Cinemark is banning the lightsaber as well. According to notes in the company's posters, they said, Star Wars costumes are welcome, however, no face covering, face paint, or simulated weapons, including lightsabers, blasters, will be allowed in the building.
But you can bring real weapons, because they said no simulated weapons.
Well,
they really need to think this through.
It's Murica. You can bring an assault rifle in there.
Oh god.
We're not banning that yet.
Oh,
Funny enough as well, in the comments, the fourth comment, if you scroll down, is only a Murica, which is kind of funny that I just said that.
Yeah. It's
sorry, I could have stopped laughing while I was reading that. I was reading it wrong as well. This is so fucking stupid. I understand the mask thing, though. For the purpose of CCTV and what else, I understand that. That's fair enough.
Yeah,
Stab taught us lessons in Scream 2.
No, it's like kidding aside, like seriously to put on like the serious mask. It's no pun intended by the way, but to put on like a serious face. I mean, unfortunately there's been some fucked up shit, dude, that's been happening. Like these fucking, I can't believe it's a thing, but the movie theater, like the tragedies, like here even in this article they talk about how like the 2012 shooting when they screened Dark Knight Rises, like you know, it's kind of, I do think it's a little bit weird. Like, I get the mask thing, because, you know, they want to be fair. I get that. The paint thing, I also get that, too, because that's masking your identity. The lightsaber thing is kind of weird. I don't get that, because a lightsaber is so... Yeah, it's very... I own 4 lightsaber replicas. Wow, I feel so nerdy saying that, but I do, and, like, they're just so fake-looking that, like, honestly, I think they'd break if you tried to, like, hit someone with it. And, you know, I've seen footage of, like, when the prequels came out and shit, and they always had people, you know, with their sabers out. But, you know, unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of true, man. We live in a world where, like, people, you know, do fucked up shit, man. And it can be anywhere, you know, in the world, apparently, or any place in the world. So it's a bummer though, because that's always been a staple. I've seen like Star Wars where people come dressed and it's really epic. They come as so no stormtroopers. They can't be a stormtrooper. That's a helmet. You can't be you know, like you always associate that with so much joy and shit. So it's kind of weird seeing them be banned for you know, not to feel for customers not to feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, I totally get that. You know, I really do. It's just a bummer because it's such a I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've never came dressed. I've never wanted to do that. Honestly, out of comfort, I just feel like I'd sweat my ass off in the theater in like a Darth Vader costume. But like it's a bummer. It is, but it's also understandable. So it's one of those like odd things.
I understand it, and I understand the fact the mask thing I can get. Yeah, sure. Lightsaber one, maybe because of the lighting and stuff, even in cinemas. I think they really want it to be. I understand as well. Cause I think I'd be a bit in an old man kind of like granddad way of saying it. I'd be pretty pissed off if some guy's waving a lightsaber in front of me. Like it's gonna like that opening screen is gonna be fucking hectic.
Yeah, like I can't read the words. What are they saying? Episode 7. What else?
I understand that, but I think like the costume thing's a bit of a shame as well because I remember how big the unprecedented level that Star Wars
Yeah,
Empire Strikes Back was like
yeah.
on the opening day, like how many people dressed up, and I think it's like for some people it's probably a long standing tradition to do it with Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah.
Um, Shame about that. I mean, you can still wear your Princess Leia slave bikini if you want. I don't think there's a policy against that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Apparently, go in there half
yeah,
naked.
or dress up as a Sarlacc
I'll wear
without the
the
mask.
slave. I'll wear the slave outfit, dude. I won't look good in it, but I'll wear it.
Well, you can wear that.
I'll do
I
it.
won't judge.
I'll do it for you, dude. I'll do it. I'll take one for the show. No, not at all. I would never ever
Um,
force people to see that on such a happy day. Um,
but yeah,
uh,
people do ruin shit, so it's gonna happen.
yeah,
No, it's not.
yeah, it's true. I mean, that's c'est la vie. That's how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But all right. So to close us off, we have some comic news now. A bit of history here because this is kind of like a funny follow up. This is like I think the longest follow up story we've ever done. I think it was months ago, man. Possibly even when we first started the show. Like it was before, like a very long time ago. We covered a news piece where, and I'm going to say it very carefully because it's kind of confusing if I say it quickly. It was a news story that an X-Men comic came out, and in the X-Men comic, it featured it was the past versions of X-Men characters like Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Kitty Pryde, shit like that, Iceman, and they were like teaming up with the adult present day versions of these characters. And Iceman, young Iceman, teenager Iceman, Bobby Drake, was being a dick and was kind of like, like objectifying women and shit and doing all this. So Jean Grey kind of pulls him aside and says, like, dude, what the fuck is your problem, man? And starts saying all this shit. And I guess she reads his mind. Yeah, I think that's what it is. She read his mind. And she's like, dude, you're totally, like, you're gay. And he's like, no, I'm not. And she's like, yeah, you're 100% gay. And he's like, what? But I don't get it. And then Jean's like, yeah, I don't get it either because adult Bobby is totally 100% straight. And everyone's like, wait, what? And it was very confusing because they went out of their way to establish, yes, teenager Bobby is totally 100% gay. Not bisexual, gay. But adult Bobby is 100% straight. Not bi-curious, not any of that, straight. So a lot of people were kind of like offended and confused because they're like, wait a minute, are you saying that gay is like a thing you do when you're young, like an experiment, or it's not something that like people were like, what are you talking about with the subject matter of being gay? Like, what are you inferring? And the writer got very defensive and said, just wait until the story's done. God damn it, wait until the arc's over. Don't judge a incomplete story. And they're like, all right, we won't judge it. Well, the story's complete, and here it's here. The story's out, and they did come out and they did kind of explain what happened with Bobby. And essentially, basically what happened was, and I'm going to try to make sure I read this very accurately. So basically, young Iceman confronts present-day adult Iceman with Jean Grey standing by for support. And present Iceman, like basically young Iceman's like, dude, what the fuck, man? I'm gay and you're not gay. What's going on? And apparently present day Iceman says, you know what, dude? Actually, I am gay. And he starts saying that he was already being persecuted for being a mutant and an X-Men, and he didn't want to add being gay to that list. So
sorry, go on.
Yeah, so
that's the biggest part of his worries that he's a mutant with superpowers, but because he's gay, that's the bigger factor. They're going to put a nail in the coffin.
That's what he says, and then he says that so he talked about how, I'm reading the article here, but he says he talked about how he put that part of himself away for his entire life, and when he considered letting it out, he would unsuccessfully try things to see if he was actually straight, which only confirmed that he is gay. And then with the help of Jean's abilities, he realizes that accepting his whole self will make him be a better X-Man and a better teacher. Then the two Icemen share a humorous moment where they both agree that the character Angel is hot. And that's what happens. So to clarify, throughout the entire, X-Men series, Iceman has been portrayed as a straight man. I'm very unfamiliar with the X-Men comics. I actually don't read them. I was more of a Spider-Man guy growing up, so I don't really know how they displayed his relationships. But I'm assuming the writers that wrote the series would write him as a straight, adult male. And now they're saying, oh no, actually, all of that was just him experimenting. So if you ever read something in the X Men comics where Bobby was like, "I love you, so and so girl," and you make me feel great, he was experimenting. So anytime he admitted to love or anything like that, and that's where I'm kind of like, I would have to go back and kind of see what his relationship
You don't.
history is. But I think it's kind of a weird retcon. It's clearly a retcon, but it's
Yeah,
it's
you
very
don't.
odd, how they rolled that out.
Yeah, you don't admit false love to Ellen Page to get pride. That is
Well,
no,
yeah,
no.
that's actually funny. I wonder how the movies are going to do that. I don't think
Um,
Bobby is in the new movie because it's in the '80s, but
what I was laughing before is what a fucking mess that entire fucking arc is. Like,
yeah,
like open up a can of worms and try and fucking put everything back in it. And they kind of like let themselves down that road. And there's no kind of like meaning behind that he's gay. And then
I feel like it's
I just,
I feel like it was in response to the backlash though, because like why would you make that? And apparently, by the way, the comic did have a 6 month delay, like in the
yeah,
story. So that's why I guess it took so long. I really think that it was in response to a backlash of like how weirdly they presented it. Like that's like why would they? Because they really did go out of their way to be like, hey, teenager Bobby, you're like very gay. But hey, adult Bobby, you're like you love the pussy. And they firmly established that big time, like, and they went out of their way to do it. It was very odd. And then now they're like, oh, actually, it was all a ruse. But I'm like, did Gene? But I thought Gene read his mind. I don't, see, that's where it's weird. Like, if Gene is apparently reading everyone's minds without their fucking permission, which, by the way, side note, is kind of fucked up. Like, what right does she have to read some dude's mind and like be like, oh, I see you're gay? Like, dude, that's none of your business. Like, he will come out when he's ready. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Jean Grey? But anyway, but like going back to the story, I don't know. It's just a weird thing, dude. I mean, whatever. I don't. If they want to make Iceman gay, that's fine. But what a very odd way to present it. Like very like I don't know. It's very oddly written, and
yeah.
you
They
know,
kind of. I can't really say much more on it. I think like I've always had my views on it. Your sexuality is your sexuality. But I think like
right.
this is something that any kind of medium is still yet to really scratch the surface of like really doing it like subtly and effectively, because I think it's people make too much of a fucking big song and hoo ha from like someone revealing the sexuality when it shouldn't be.
Hmm.
It's like when me and you talk about Mortal Kombat in the spoiler cast, and is it Kung Jin
Oh
is
right, yeah.
gay, and we were both like, wait, what?
Yeah, because the
like when
story did not like I didn't catch that at all in the story. Yeah.
but when you go back to it, you appreciate because they did make a big song and hoo ha out of it. The media obviously made a big song and hoo ha out of it
Hmm.
because they started writing stories like "This is Mortal Kombat's first gay character." I was like, that doesn't need to be news. That's not news either. Um, but like, it was kind of like that's how you do it. You like make it like a little bit subtle and just like it doesn't have to be the big. It's just kind of like how they did it in the X Men thing. It's like, yeah, because I'm a mutant. That's one of the things that's the problem. And me being gay would also be like on top of that more of a problem. And kind of like I'd laugh at that kind of idea that they even make something ridiculous as a story like that
I think it's
in the arc.
I think it's really funny though, dude, because the mutant persecution thing. I mean, that is in itself very much a
That's more
allegory.
xenophobia than anything. Like
Yeah,
it is.
it's an allegory
It,
for
yeah, it's,
any kind of phobia. Yeah, like homophobia or even like racism. Because if I recall correctly, the X Men.
segregation.
Yeah, like the X Men came out during that, like in the '60s, where that was around the time of, I mean, my God, Martin Luther King and like things like that. So like, I feel like it was a response to that, and
Yeah,
but now it's like I feel like you could use that for. So it's interesting that they would use X Men as a way of doing that. But I guess you know what I think it was, dude. It was a very unnecessarily complicated way to do. Like, there's no real resolution to that. Like, well, there was, but there wasn't really like a big like like it was overly complicated to do something that could have been a simple but sweet scene, and they kind of made it like really oddly placed. But you know, I think it's really cool to have a vast variety of characters in general. Obviously, I'm not, you know, like against any type of character being out there. We've argued that like video games need this, where like, you know, they have like, what is it? We always play as the 30-year-old white guy. That's all we play as.
Yeah.
And we even gave credit. We talk shit about Assassin's Creed, but we give credit that that game series does. Every character you've played is like a different ethnicity than you're used to playing. And I think that's so fucking cool. Ethnicity, and now I know in the new game they have transgendered characters, and like, you know, all the. I think it's so cool that they're doing that. It really makes things more interesting, more real, more vibrant. But yeah, it was kind of like a weird way to present it. But we wanted to cover this story because obviously we talked about. I wonder what they're gonna do, and literally their solution was, "Oh yeah, dude, actually I am." You know what I mean? That was it, and it's like, all right, you know, like it's just funny how like we thought it was gonna be a big reveal, and actually it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
but now we need to do a whole arc on why Jean Grey is reading people's minds randomly. What's up with that?
She's
like,
just as bad. She's just as bad as Supergirl.
do you
That's
like
in the story.
my casserole? I made it, and like Cyclops is like, yeah, it's great. Reads his mind. You fucking hate
She's
it. Like, god damn
she's
it,
just
Jean.
she's just reading people's minds, and then just like comes across the liquids. I wonder if she likes my sunglasses.